Hey there, it's Trisha. So I was going to get ready to film my reading rundown, which is how I'm going to be doing my wrap-ups from now on. I'm going to be doing them in groupings rather than at the end of each month, because I find that some months I read a whole bunch and some months I am reading hardly anything. So I decided to do that way. But as I got ready to sit down to film, someone started mowing the field that is right behind my house. So I can't film right now an actual video because of all the noise. So I wanted to stop by the bookstore and pick up a book, maybe a new release, maybe not, I'm not sure. So since it was such a nice day out, I thought that I would take you all along with me. So where I live, we have very few bookstores. And I decided I was gonna come to the local used bookstore that we have here in town, and I don't come very often. And the reason I don't come very often is because it's downtown, and it took me 4 times circling the block to find a parking spot that was reasonably close enough, because though it's nice outside, it's still pretty chilly because it's mid-February. So found a spot and I'm ready to go inside. So now that I'm here, I don't really know what to get. I'm reading Blood, Water, Paint that Kara from Wild Book Garden got me for Christmas. And I'm also listening to Becoming by Michelle Obama. And it's 2 completely different things. So I'm not really sure what I'm in the mood to read now. So I have moved locations. I finished up my shopping at the used bookstore, and despite not knowing what it was that I wanted, or I didn't really have anything in particular that I was looking for, just something a little bit different than my 2 current reads, I ended up finding a couple of things. So I'm really excited about all of the books that I've picked up, either because I found them super intriguing or because there's some things that I've had on my mental TBR for a while now. And so I picked those up, but I decided that I was gonna make one more stop before I head home, and I'm gonna stop at my local Barnes & Noble and see about picking up one more thing. All of the books that I got at the used bookstore were backlist, so I'm thinking that I wanna get something that is a new release. I'm just not sure what type of new release, if I'm gonna go middle grade or YA or maybe, I don't know, sci-fi or something. I'm not too sure. We'll see when I get in there what I pick up. I see you, Hannah. Doing your job. I'm creeping from around a corner. So I've been thinking about getting this one, The Loneliest Girl in the Universe. I heard Kara talk about it on her channel. It's a really pretty cover. I like it a lot. But I think it's coming out in paperback really soon, so I think I'm gonna wait and potentially just pick it up in paperback. So another one that I've been considering getting is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. I haven't read anything by him, but I think I'm going to pick up another book that is potentially pretty heartbreaking, so I might wait until next time on this one. Okay, so now I am back home. Let's get on into the books that I got today. So From the used bookstore, I ended up getting Stephen R. Lawhead's Taliesin. This one, I'm pretty sure, and I tried to figure it out, but based off of the back, it looks like it is the first in the Pendragon Cycle series that he's written. And I really love Arthurian legend, and Stephen R. Lawhead's series is one of the series that I have not gotten around to reading yet. So I'm really excited to pick this up because I don't have right now a lot of Arthurian legend on my TBR. And then I ended up picking up Mr. Penumbra's 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan. This is a adult literary fiction. I think there's some sort of mystery involved in it. One of my coworkers, when I was working for Barnes & Noble, had read this and really enjoyed it. It is about someone who starts working for a bookstore, and then as they've been working there, they start to realize that there are the same books that people are checking out and a lot of the same reoccurring customers over and over again, and it seems like they're all trying to work on solving a mystery, but they're not working in conjunction with one another. They're all working independently of one another. So a little bit of a mystery, kind of intriguing premise. So I really like this one, and hopefully in the future we'll get to pick up Sourdough, also by Robin Sloan. And then I ended up getting Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I picked this up because a lot of people really like it here on BookTube. Sam from Thoughts on Tomes was the first person that I had heard talk about it, and it's something that's been on my TBR for a long time, and they just so happen to have a used copy of this, so I decided to pick that up while I was there. And then the last thing I picked up was The River at Night by Erica Frenerick. This is one that another one of my coworkers when I was at Barnes & Noble had read. It is a thriller about a bunch of women who always go on a girls trip every single year, and this year they decide to go whitewater rafting or go on a river rafting trip in Maine, and it's told from the perspective of one of the women who really doesn't want to go, and they end up going, and then shit kind of hits the fan and lots of crazy things start happening. So the coworker who had read this really enjoyed it because she felt like it could happen where we live out in Oregon, and so it was something that she could really see actually happening to people getting lost in the wilderness. So that one is one that she recommended, so I decided to pick this up since they had a used copy at the bookstore as well. And then when I was at Barnes & Noble, I saw Hannah, the Rainy Reader, and I was talking to her, and I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to get. I saw a couple of things that looked really interesting, so I ended up getting two things. The first one I ended up getting was The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. This is a fantasy that I guess is really big on BookTube right now. I haven't really seen any reviews on this one. I know that Thoughts on Tomes, Sam did a review on this one, and she said that there was like kind of an angsty romance, which I'm totally here for. I haven't read one of those in a while, like a truly angsty romance. I did just finish one, Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett, but that was a contemporary kind of slightly angsty romance. Doesn't really count. So I don't know a whole lot about this, and I'm okay with that. I don't really want to know a whole lot going into it, but so many people have been talking about it on BookTube, so I decided I'd pick it up to give it a try. And then the other book that I ended up picking up was Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I read the Grisha trilogy and really enjoyed it as a whole. I wasn't so thrilled with the ending of it, but I am super excited to get to this. Again, it's really popular on BookTube, so I'm not going to summarize it, but one of my friends, Emily, she really enjoyed it. She described it to me as a Breakfast Club meets Ocean's 11 kind of vibe, so that's kind of fun. And so I've really enjoyed Leigh Bardugo's world building, so I'm super excited to get back into the Grisha verse, so that will be a super fun read as well. There was one that I talked about where I was potentially going to get a book that was going to be kind of sad, and I didn't pick up Adam Silvera's They Both Die at the End because I was going to get this other book, and I was going to pick up We Are Okay by Nina LaCour, and I was going to get it. and I saw it on the shelf and I was like, oh my gosh, perfect. Let me get a fantasy and let me get a contemporary. This will be awesome. But then I realized that what I had in my hand was the paperback, and the paperback technically does not release until the 26th, if I'm not mistaken. And at the time that I'm filming this, it's the Thursday before its official release. So I decided that I was going to hold off on getting that one so that way it doesn't hurt the author's sales by me picking up the paperback before its official release date. So I didn't end up getting that one, but I'm going to go back and get it on its actual release date or just after that. So I'm really excited to go get that one. So these are all the books that I ended up getting on my shopping trip today, as I was waiting for the mowing to be done, which it sounds like it is by this point. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these books that I ended up picking up today. So that is it for today's video. If you want to see more content from me in the future, be sure to click the little subscribe button down below, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!